What's up, people? How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope everyone's having a great evening. Second day of the week, it's Tuesday. Let's hope you're all enjoying yourselves. Right then, we're at the Redbull ring today in the GT3s. Track day Tuesday is what we're calling it. So we're hoping to have a better race today than we did last week. Not putting too much stock into it this time round. So whatever happens, happens. And yeah, that will be it. Okay guys, I'd like to say thank you for coming through. Hit that like and subscribe button if you don't want to miss any more content. Alright then. You know the deal, you know the score. Let's get right to it.
before I was like submarining into the sea just to try and reach the pedals. How are you, Spoon? Good to see you, buddy. Are you live as well, good sir? Yes, you are. I'll quickly jump in and smash a like for you, buddy. There we go. Alright, good luck, mate. Let's go, let's go. Let's
30 seconds.
Well. Spoon's looking cold. He's got his jacket on, boys. He's looking cold today. I have a nice cool room as well.
20 seconds.
What? What? Restart the game. Restart the game. The server's still running. As you can see, the server's still running. Right, I want to apologize in advance if I didn't crash into anyone around the pedals.
Going double five.
The server's still running.
Bollocks. It's 30 minutes. Oh gosh. It was 20. Ah, bollocks. Oh well.
Green line, go, go, go. Car on the right, clear on the right.
It would have been a 20-minute race. What 30-minute races were only going to be for Sundays? There's always something. Bollocks to that curb, yo. Fuck. Fuck's sake, yo. Bollocks to that shit. Is it always that curve? Why have they put those little tiny white sausages on that shit? And then nowhere else on the track but there. It's no fucking sense. I complain about this every time I come here. It's valid as far as I'm concerned. What's up, prototype? Yeah, I know. speed, a bit more track, get a better entry. Some little fucking wasted looking shits is fucking you up. Racing to entertain the birds.
There's a slow car ahead. Slow car ahead.
When you're in the back section of the track, it's pointless. Why are they right here on the left? And then on the inside here.
Yellow flag ahead. Be careful.
Another car went off. Because of that shit.
Well done, mate. You've lost yourself so far.
Plus I've only got 20 minutes of fuel in, not 30. It was 30, it was 20-minute race, extended it to 30. Either way, race would have been fucked.
Yellow flag in sector 3. Gaining on the car lane in sector 1. Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far. We're at the halfway mark. Still a long way to go. Warning for exceeding track limits.
No, I'm not going to.
Mandatory stop beside you.
Get Gran Turismo
Come on,
7.
go.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to feel how the car really is because of Gran Turismo's physics and their tyre wear, the way they do it. I don't get a real approximation of the car, the way Gran Turismo like to appropriate things. Gran Turismo is a waste. It's not even a race. It's not even a sim racing game. It's an arcade game that tries to copy a sim racing game. It's a driving simulator. Driving simulator for road cars. That's what Gran Turismo is. It's not a racing simulator. So no, I won't be trying out anything on Gran Turismo 7 ever again. And even when 8 comes out, I'm not even bothering with it. Kazunori has killed the franchise for me as far as Gran Turismo is concerned. With constantly wanting to change everything the next time out. That's his ethos, and I don't agree with it anymore. Gran Turismo 6 was the last one that was similar to 4 and 5. And then with GT Sport, he messed it up there when he came out with only race cars. And then GT Sport with the daily races, that's just fucked up. And then he constantly wants to change the physics of the cars. Every 6 months. Most of the daily races are the same. What else? Yeah, most of the daily races are the same. The amount of tyre wear. You can't choose your own amount of fuel. There's a whole bunch of things with that game. It's not a sim racer. If you can't choose the amount of fuel that you want in the car, then it's not a sim racing game. If you can't adjust the tyre pressures, it's not a sim racing game. If there's not a section in the game through the day races where you can adjust your suspension settings, the car settings, it's not a sim racing game. And to do that with only partial settings like camber, dampers, it's definitely not a sim racing game. It's still being held within the constraints of Gran Turismo 7 the way they want it. So if I saw Kazunori, I'd give him a piece of my mind because he's really let down everyone of my generation that have helped him build that game, giving him the best feedback through GT Planet and every other portal on the online. I feel like you're on the rails. And Gran Turismo will do that. It will make you feel like the car is very stable to keep people there in the game, to keep you choosing that car. So when the daily races come around and all of a sudden the car's not on rails, it's slippery, and you're wondering why. Well, that's because of the high tyre wear. After 3 laps, near enough 85% of your tyre wear is already gone. And that's just not real in any sim racing game today. And those that still play it and have these big Fanatec wheels, Thrustmaster wheels and Gran Turismo, because they can't play anything else. They don't know how to set up the cars. They don't want to use their brain. An average player, fine, but for all of those guys that race it every day and I've played Gran Turismo and it's helped me to get here for my followage and my viewers, because it's an arcade game and because it's easy. I have more respect for people like Jardir, UCOG, Royco Gaming, all of those guys that actually put the time in and work out the settings of the vehicle that is provided to you in the game. Forza Horizon provides you setups, provides you with changing the settings of the car. it's a complete arcade game, but it gives you that functionality where you can have more fun. Gran Turismo can't do that, and if he ever won't do that, then there's no point in ever playing that shit again. It's a complete waste of time. Even though I started there to get on the wheels so that I could be better, so that I could be quicker. But over time, like I said, when Gran Turismo Sport came out, and 7, these daily races, and the GT Academy, and World Series, and only gave it to those guys with the best wheels, younger guys, that's who he's actually... Given more plaudits to the younger guys. He's given them more of an advantage, especially on controller. Even on controller, beating people on steering wheels, and that's not right. I used to play on D-pad. Take away the functionality of an analog stick, make everybody go back to D-pad to see how good everyone is. That's how I started out in Gran Turismo. Proper GT mode. That's an always duped a lot of people. And he's just raking in the money. He doesn't give a shit. Doesn't give a shit how anyone feels, what everyone's saying. Because we over here in the West, it doesn't matter what we say. It does not matter. Big generation gap, a big generation of player base, and just kicks us to the curb. And he's in the same generation bracket. He's just taking it on to see how much money he can get out of it. And as far as this $29.99 DLC that he's got, he's racing against AI Sophies, and it's another cop out as far as I'm concerned. Takes the fun out of it. That's how Gran Turismo used to be with the AI on Gran Turismo 2. You used to really have to grind and be precise and get faster while putting a setup on your car in order to do that. You couldn't drive a flat car with no setup and expect to catch the car that is in front. You needed to put a setup on there. Now you don't need to with these daily races. Everybody just wants to have fun. Just jump on and race. It's mainly for the younger market. Games aren't what they used to be back in the 80s, back in the early 90s, mid 90s, late 90s. Not the same. No more critical thinking is being used. Let the AI do the job. Already kind of programmed with the setup. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. MotoGP. I used to play MotoGP with my brother, and we used to have to set up the motorbikes in a way where it would get faster. You know, the distance between the front and rear wheels. You had to adjust all of that, and other things, and I can't really remember all of it, but you had to use your brain in order to get faster, and this was against the AI that you had to get faster. It wasn't online that we were racing, it was against the AI. Now you got Ride 4, Ride 5, and Ride 6 is out. You can do that in that. You can do that. Nobody wants to play it, nobody streams it because it's not exciting enough. You've got to go through all these settings and blah blah blah. No one likes that shit. Everyone's lazy. Formula 1 is another hack of the game, as far as I'm concerned. Load of rubbish. You can't really do what you want to do as far as the settings, setting the car properly. Go through all these preliminaries of track go through these markers at each point of where the apex is. Oh, fuck that shit. Old Formula 1 games, you never had to do that. Trying to make it something that it isn't. They don't do that in real life. Why must you do that in the game? It's not teaching anybody anything. It's not teaching experienced racers anything. It's wasting people's time and money. Got me on a full-on rant then. Yeah. Yes. And they've been doing that since Gran Turismo 6. They're using all of the penalties. You know, the moment that you tap someone and it's not your fault, someone else has hit you and you hit someone else, they go off and you get the penalty. They can actually make sure that the penalty system actually identifies someone who stays on the throttle and deliberately hits someone off, or if it's a mistake. But they don't want to do that. Because they want to keep that excitement there of everyone getting angry and having to try again in the next round. Much like Call of Duty with this algorithm. Using algorithms to actually manipulate if you're going to win the game or not, how many kills you get, how your gun is going to be this round or the next round. I'm from the days when I had to look at coding out of a book in order to make my own games. Back in the days when it was Commodore 64 and the ZX Spectrum, Sinclair ZX Spectrum. When console came out, all of that just disappeared. It got too easy for everybody.
Slow car ahead.
Coding never always works, but it was fun to do. It was something. Now, if you want to do coding, there's a whole load of other shit that's put in there. Oh, you need a degree to do this, you need a degree to do that, you need to be this and that. No, you fucking don't. Everything's based off of money nowadays, and it's just ridiculous. Online gaming has killed gaming. I was talking about that with my brother earlier today. Games that we grew up with, you had 150 levels of a game and we had no save points. So you could either turn off the game, start over again the next day, lose all your lives, because you only had maybe 1 or 2 lives, or 3 at most. And then you had to start the game over again. So you'd reach level 50, mess up, and you'd have to start again from level 1. There's none of that anymore. All it is bright colours. I like them bullshit. No critical thinking. The game ends you, you don't end the game. Nowadays. Tired of playing it because there's no completion to it. There's no satisfaction out of it anymore. Fuck it, drive through penalties. It's another thing I hate about this track. Exceeding track limits, all brought in by the FIA. That little bit of track limit didn't help me. It didn't improve my track time. I didn't gain any advantage. That's how it is. So rather go to a track where I have more of an advantage rather than these tracks where I'm no good at. I don't have much of an advantage. A lot of these tracks we go to all the time and it's like the same tracks like I'm playing Gran Turismo. There's a lot of tracks that I don't like, but then there are a lot of tracks that aren't in this game, that should be in this game. And that's another thing. I shouldn't have to play a different type of racing game in order to race Sebring. For AI Taida. Tracks that are located in Seattle, Washington. Tracks that are located in Michigan, North Carolina.
Right, race is over. Good job, mate. You can
None of
rest.
that.
Bring it back to the
None
pits.
of that. None of that. They too busy focused on esport. Yeah, exactly. Esport, all about the money. Fuck esport. Focus, and those guys that are in esport, they're all cheating. They're pushing you off they're pushing each other off the track. That's not racing. It's just complete foolishness. And nah, that's another reason why I came away from Gran Turismo, because everyone's trying to get up to A+ status and forcing you off the track and cheating when it comes to the penalties. And then once you get to the A, you're in the lower tier of A, and you're racing against people that are in the higher tier of A. They could be A+. I'm A. So they've got thousands and thousands of more points than me. But yet they're the dirtiest ones out there. It's not a matter of they're more experienced. No, they're just more dirty because they don't want you coming up, because they're hating on you. Oh, there's a lower tier A driver. I'm not going to help him. I'm not going to let him get in front of me. I need to keep my A status. And that's another thing. If you don't finish all the time in top 5, your points go down. So if my qualifying time gets me in the top 5, and if I finish lower than the top 5, lower than my qualifying time, I qualify 5th, I start 5th. If I finish 10th, I don't get as many points as I would if I were to finish 3rd. And if I were to start at the back, there's no way I can get up to 3rd place from last place because of the high tyre wear and the idiots that you have to come across in the midfield that are knocking you off and giving you penalties when it's not your fault. That's another reason why I came away from Gran Turismo, and a lot of people have steered away from Gran Turismo because of that foolishness. And Polyphony Digital and Kazunori, they don't want to address that. And like I said before, they can address it by, Gran Turismo 6, if you hit somebody on the rear right quarter, it will give you a certain amount of penalty time. And they gave you a graphic. A graphic was made up as to those points on the car. When you hit someone, you will be given a penalty. That was an idiot thing, because there's going to be contacts no matter what. Doesn't matter. There's contact in LMU, there's contact in Formula 1, there's contact in any racing game. It's not deliberate, but it happens. You can't get away from that. But you're getting penalised for someone hitting you, and they don't get penalised.
Go.
That's the problem with Gran Turismo and its algorithm. They don't care to fix it. They don't care to make sure that someone is being penalised fairly. Forza Motorsport tried to do it. They done it in a sort of accurate way, but Forza Motorsport is another arcade game which doesn't work. You have a lot of arseholes there that just love to crash into you and just think that, yeah, it's an arcade game, I'm going to crash into you and get by. There's no real penalty that I'm going to get for it. There's no real damage that I'm getting that's going to damage my car and stop me from actually getting, moving forward up the scale. The game developers, if they don't care to implement those things, then there's no point. Safety cars. There's no safety car in Gran Turismo. There's no safety car in Assetto Corsa Competition. There's no safety car in Le Mans Ultimate. So, Le Mans Ultimate wants to be a true 24-hour racing sim, but yet there's no safety car when there's a big accident. You shouldn't be able to all of a sudden limp back, not limp, but press the start button and teleport back to the pits. In an LMU, if you do that, that's it, your race is over, you have to retire. No, if your car is completely damaged, wheels are off, retire. But if your car is still drivable and you have to limp back to the pits and a safety car needs to come out, that needs to be put into the game. If they're not going to do that shit, there's no point. I want fundamentals. If they're going to bring out a game and they're saying, we want it to be a real racing simulator, a racing sim, like it is in the motorsports world, then put everything in there. But no, you got too many babies crying about, Why has it got this? Why has it got that? I don't like it. Fuck that. Fuck you, you little baby. This is what you wanted, right? Now it's in here, you're crying about it. Nah, mate. Nah, mate. This is what I find wrong with sim racing. This is what I find wrong with people who only want to race certain tracks. Race all tracks. There should be a directory or a library. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like we're all sitting there in a row of tracks that you do every day. The game needs to be set up that way so that today we're doing this track, tomorrow we're doing that track, next day we're doing that track. Everybody gets to prepare. If you don't want to race that track today, you don't go into the race. You want to race the track on Wednesday, you then prepare for the race on Wednesday at that particular track. That's how I want it. But no. These people who make these games, the developers, whoever's the mind thinking behind it, they don't want to do it that way. If you want to make a real racing simulator, you know, which is up to spec, like real time in real racing, like these blank pain races, the Asian race that we had the other day with the GT3s and the LMPs, then make it like that. You see, when they had the big accident, the Ferrari and the LMP, it was a red flag. It was red flag. Pace car came out. Where is that in the LMU? Nowhere. I want the same thing in LMU. I want the same thing in CORSA competition. I want the same thing in AC Evo. AC Evo just got rid of its progression part of the game. You know, where you can earn credits and race against AI cars. But they haven't even sorted out the AI to race against you properly. Complete bollocks. Complete bollocks. Should I stop racing because of all of this? Maybe I should, but I'm not going to, because I love racing, just like a lot of other people do. They spend money on their rigs and they're not getting what they want, and when they do get what they want, they moan about it. Complete farce on both sides. The driver and the developers. Complete fucking farce. What a joke. Let me put the right amount of fuel in here. About 58.
Green light, go, go, go.
Whoever's out there, if you're listening, if you agree with me or not, hey, it's up to you. Everyone's got the right to their own opinion, the way they see things. This is the way I see it. And there's a lot of sim racing games that have come out. Project Motorsport, complete waste of time, complete threat. Race Room, you have to Race Room. It's on PC. You have to buy the tracks and you have to buy the cars in order to race that shit. Which is fine, you know, because you have so many cars which are iconic. But not everybody wants to do that, and not everyone has a PC. And now prices are just going to be out the roof because of AI and the RAM. It's like, you just, as a consumer, as something that you want to do that you love, you can't win when it comes to those who are making the games and that are in control of everything. You cannot win. You're at their whim. So it makes everything so not good. Safety cars in GT7, but no use for them. Yeah, exactly. You can buy a safety car, you know, go to an open lobby and act like, you know, you're a safety car when there's an accident. But there's no real-time damage on the cars. Or you get suspension damage, and it shows up on the little graphic. What's that? That's a load of crap. In Gran Turismo, they don't want their cars to be seen as broken, but that's more down to the manufacturers. In Gran Turismo, Polyphony Digital, they happily agree to that. But I'm thinking, you know what? What's the point? It is an arcade game because you won't implement real-time damage in the vehicle. Real-time damage in the vehicles. Gran 7 has got a lot to answer for, but they don't really want to do it. Just want to be seen as the cleanest, the most A-spec game out there. Now they've lost it. They're no longer the tippity top, cream of the crop. No longer are they the ones. Mustang, get out of the way. What? That's another thing, man. That's another thing, man. Fuck the Mustangs. Fuck the fucking Mustangs. Fuck's sake. Can I get a win today? No, there's a Mustang in the race. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. What's up, hippie? NMU Daily Week Professional State Summary. Even NMU has gotten to the point where, okay, daily races, limited tracks, same tracks all the time, daily races. It's too Gran Turismo-esque. Daily races. Daily races. Daily. There's not enough nuance to it anymore. The whole Le Mans aspect of it was a complete new nuance to a sim racing game. It's quite boring now. And nobody wants to go backwards to ACC because you have LMP cars now in there. Not even that is good enough for me. I don't like the LMP cars. Just trying to get used to those under braking and just trying to get things done. I don't know. I don't want to spend my racing hour overtaking GT3 cars, lapped GT3 cars, being a GT3 car and having to look out for LMP3 cars coming through and possibly taking you out. Makes for the excitement of it. No. What about an IndyCar game? What, a NASCAR game? What about an IndyCar game? Is that going to come out? Will there be a proper IndyCar game? I don't want it to be anything like Formula One, with its way of go through these markers at every apex and turn. Do tire testing. Then we're gonna do brake testing. Then we're gonna do fuel testing. Motherfucker, please, fuck that shit. Formula One's a joke altogether anyway. Give everybody in Formula One the same aerodynamics, the same engine, and see which driver has the best skill to outperform each other. That's racing right there. That is racing. That is racing. That's what I want. very much old school, but you know what? I'm very much realistic when it comes to things that are realistic as well. And if the game itself isn't going to be realistic enough, then everyone's wasting their time and money. You're being duped. You're being duped. I think when Forza Horizon 6 comes out, I am going to stream that a lot. Just mainly because it's something else to stream. It's another racing game. I should be getting my RAM at the end of
30
the month,
seconds.
so that I can have more memory on my PC, and hopefully I can, you know, stream some LMU and stream some other games as well. Because right now, 16 gigabyte of RAM
20
is not
seconds.
doing me any favors, and it doesn't do anybody any favors. And this is why a lot of people build their own PCs, because if you go to a store to buy your PC, they're duping you as well. You know, 2 8 gigabyte cards to make up 16 gigabytes, so therefore you're really not getting
Staying
the
double file.
megahertz that you need to give you that processing power off of your CPU to play a game efficiently. You know, have your stream elements or OBS open. A lot of bullshit. I'll stop in the racing line instead of pulling off to the side.
Green light. Reload again.
And the green light went there. Passing very hard.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
We're gone. Got the tire.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Sorry, dude.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left.
some space.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Tired of being passed all the time. I'm not having it no more.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the right. Clear on the right.
What's he got under the fucking hood?
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Yellow flag in sector 2.
Second, everybody's cars just fast as fuck.
Warning for exceeding track limits.
Really, but not the last lap.
Warning for exceeding track limits.
Can you give me one there too? Fuck, man.
keep pushing. has finished the race. Green light. Go, go, go.
Alright guys, here we go. Third race.
Seconds.
Thanks for hanging around. Yeah.
20 seconds. Going double file. Green light, go, go, go.
Oh, fuck off. Come on. Don't, none of you behind me.
Yellow flag, choked.
What the fuck? Jesus Christ. I swear, if I had hit him, I would have ended the fucking stream right there. Thanks, Pubbies. Right.
Car on the right. Gear on the right.
take a wide line, but I can't because fucking it's just dirt on that side. The way I want to take the line, I can't take it.
Falling behind to the car in front in sector 2. Well, main, personal fastest lap. Yellow flag out, watch out.
You know what, guys? I'm about to give up on streaming altogether, and racing this shit altogether, because I can't get anywhere. No matter what car I choose, no matter what happens, no matter what, no matter what, no matter what, no matter what. I really can't deal with this shit anymore. I've been having a hard time for a long time, and I really can't deal with this shit anymore. I'm talking to the air most times, and it's like there's nothing out there, nothing there to inspire me, to push me on, keep me pushing. Nobody. Positivity doesn't matter. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I really can't. I really can't.